This video has turned into something that's very explicit. So if you are not wanting to hear about sex, the sex trade, and dementors, and all kinds of bad things, then don't watch this. But if you want to know, it's not safe for work. BMJ. Another terrifying episode in the night. They found many portals to the center of our avatars that led to an overall organized thinking thing that the dementors were involved with. So we were directly connected to dementors, and having that sealed up in the beginning was terrifying because they had to find them first, and it was still directly connected to Ahriman whispers. It may have been a part of Ahriman that still exists. And this is why I haven't been able to watch some of the baseball players, because unfortunately these dementors have been in every part of life. It's horrific. My side sees people, and the other side knows that they're not. Unfortunately, there will still be, there are still a lot of prominent people that have to go. It's terrifying. I've even seen them in the World Cup. They're everywhere. I saw one at the mall. Why do I see them? I sound them. Just an average Joe looking kind of dude selling shit. The reason they are still here now is because the OC and now Watson have been shoring up the places that will be left, so that there will be a seamless but extremely grief-ridden period of time. There will be people already ready to come up and do whatever it is that it is. They've planned it ahead. Unfortunately, it's going to be some of our favorite people. Movies, television, music, art, and don't get me started on government. They say about 20% of the population has to go, but they're going to stagger it because it's just going to be overwhelming. And again, if it becomes too much for you, just in your head say, I can't do this. And you will be put on a timeline to determine whether it is that you still have apparatuses or programs that are forcing you to feel that way, because we can't come back. That's their motto. You can't bring them back. And in fact, there are some lesser dementors that are being saved. There have been a couple of famously awful dementors that have been saved because they had a personality. Others have not had a personality. They only existed on a timeline. So there are going to be people saved from Ahriman. But some of them have done unspeakable things inside this simulation having to do with sex crimes. And some of them were able to travel between their avatar in here and the other side. And they were higher level people. So those people cannot stay because they have the memory, and we can't keep that energy in this new place, or it could happen again. And if it happens again, I have already asked to not exist, because this has been heinous. And it just keeps being that. And this is why it's so important to get the energy off the earth. I still can't believe some of the people that were in my life who were. Talk about hoodwinks. We all have people who were. That was the nature of this sex trade, prison, slavery place. This is the message that I hate. But this is what I've been living. Oh, I'm getting a message. Everyone who's staying is getting a lift up to be able to handle what's about to happen. And it will be staggered. And we will be staggering. But we will see good things happening. The more the energy is off the planet, the faster it will be to come to a better place that might even could be described as a positive utopia. But we have a bumpy ride before then. BMJ, July 18th, Barbault's Basket weekend. It is currently 1:21 p.m. I was up a lot last night. They were still removing heinous sex programs for our personal human sex. And that's always uncomfortable because it involves handling myself with people who are on the other side, which is still a trigger. That's too much of a trigger. And this is not a pleasure session. This is to find all of the programs that were forcing us, because we did not have a choice in our sex or our masturbation. It was not a choice. It came from someone on the other side who wanted us to be jacked up for them so that they could get jacked up. So these sessions are them finding programs that light up to take out. And I've had a couple of them, but they keep having to do more. There are just so many. And we already have been given organic, lovely ways to come to an orgasm. But they are still also being forced by these programs that they have not yet found. And so that's what that is. One of the first experiences I had as a galactic prostitute slave that I didn't know that I was someone with tentacles who was wrapped all around me and was squeezing me, and it felt like they were trying to kill me. Well, it turns out that Tom has tentacles. And last night I sounded it because there's very little cushion between me and them now that all of the Aries has been taken out and all the apparatuses are just practically gone. And it freaked both of us out because Tom was involved before he got fixed. And sometimes I get the flash of Jabba the Hutt with Princess Leia kept. And we're both fixed, and we both vibrate differently, more cleanly, but it's still, it shook both of us last night. So there's still traumas to be removed and weird experiences to have. So, Barbault's basket. It's French. Barbault is what it B-A-U-L-T. Barbault's basket. Every astrologer is talking about it. And here's what it is. You see Jupiter as for Leo, Uranus for Gemini, Neptune for Aries, Pluto for Aquarius, and there's more to this, but it makes a basket configuration, which I'm not seeing because I'm not an astrologer. I just play one on the galactic level. That was a joke and it's not very funny. So the moon is now opposite. Same sign. No, not. It's an inconjunct right now. This is how dumb I am about astrology. But Neptune is forming a sextile to Uranus. And Uranus is forming a sextile to Jupiter. And Jupiter is opposite of Pluto. And I have too many things on here for it to be seen easily. And this configuration has been described by so many astrologers who are actually astrologers. So if you want to know what it means to Miss New Orleans, you'll need to find someone like Steve Judd or Ann Ortley or Sparkles of Gold or Chris Brennan. These are just some that I'm seeing. Let's see, in my mind's eye. S.J. Anderson. Adam Ellenboss. Alex Trenowith. These are people I follow because this is who I know right now. So there's Adam Ellenboss, Alex Trenowith, I don't know how she says it, Ann Ortley, Lawless Astrology, I think that's what it is. Catherine Urban, Christopher Renstrom. Cosmic Owl is Louise Eddington. Feel Good Astrology. Heather Insworth. These people are all Pam Gregory. I've mentioned her before. Kelly's astrology. You can't miss. There's Lawless. All you have to do is type in Barbault's basket, and everyone is talking about them. Talking about that. Molly McCord, Nick Dagan-Best. Very intellectual. He's very interesting to me. Penny Thornton. They're all interesting, but he's very historical. Rick Levine, Rose Astrology. Sue Brain. Oh yes. All right. And I'm probably missing some because but you can see what I've got. World Astrology Report. On the subject of astrologers, I am a human and have thought I was always a human. And so who I started following they're English speakers. I can't speak. I want to speak Spanish so bad. I love the cultures. And I follow Venezuelan baseball. But I don't know astrologers everywhere. But I'm sure they're all talking about this configuration. So in your own country, I will post what they're calling this configuration so that you can Google it in your language. And I'm sure your timeline will take you to the perfect person for you. To clarify, a lot of this horrific stuff did not begin until January of 2020 when Saturn and Pluto conjoined. That's when they changed the world timeline again, but to this dystopia. And that's when they connected all of our avatars to a central mind. That was Ahriman. It wasn't good before then. It was 2001 that they first changed the timeline to begin the robotification, but 2020 was when all the galactics had lost control and Ahriman became the master of all. I am now beginning to feel safer. I'm watching my baseball game, and there are a few people that are Dementors that have still had access to the overall mind, and they've closed up enough that I'm starting to feel like I'm separate. And this probably also is why we can't stand each other. We're all connected through that mind. And this is probably going to really change things. I mean, I keep saying that, but we can only keep getting better. So this is BMJ out.